The Pixel Watch is the first of what many of us believe to be the first true rival to the Apple Watch. And as I watched the many review videos, some of them from creators with millions of subscribers, a number of them actually made a pretty shocking mistake when they said, you can use your Apple Watch charger, and on top of that, you can use your Galaxy Watch charger. But viewers even came over to my comment section on my own video to say, I am so wrong because this guy said so. So first, I want to clear up some confusion. Now here is the Apple Watch charger, and here is the Pixel Watch. Now firstly, the charger won't even attach because the magnets in this charger are the polar opposite to the magnets in the Pixel charger. So cue some Benny Hill theme music here. But if I hold the charger on the back of the phone in the right place, it does look like it's charging, which is what caused the issue in the first place. And if we stay here long enough, okay, there we go. So we've gone from 72% to 71% now on the Pixel Watch. So technically speaking, the Pixel Watch is now charging the Apple Watch charger. But anyway, that is not any too different to what we see on the Galaxy Watch chargers. Now, the interesting thing we see from the Galaxy Watch chargers are that the Galaxy Watch 4 charger, it will say that it's charging, but if you just see momentarily, it then goes off and stops charging. Whereas on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro charger, it will say that it is charging, but it isn't actually charging. And again, if we wait long enough, it will actually lose a percent of battery. And just to fully test this out, I also have here a Google Pixel 7 Pro with reverse wireless charging, which I've just turned on here, just to see how that works. And surprise, surprise, it's not charging it. Again, it says that it's charging, it comes up, but it doesn't actually charge. Now, Google even had to make a statement about the charging situation here with all the watches and the phones, because everyone was getting it wrong online, since some of them look like they're charging when in fact they're not actually charging. So it is 100% confirmed that the only way to charge your Pixel Watch is with the official Pixel charging puck. But whilst this seems to rile up the Apple versus Android fans with people saying how dumb this is, it's actually no different than any other watch. Like Apple has to use their own proprietary chargers to charge the Apple Watch. Samsung has to use theirs. Even the TicWatch, which has one of the weirdest chargers of all the phone and watch chargers of all, has to use their own proprietary connector. I mean, just look at the sheer amount of chargers I have here just to charge the watches I have on the desk here. It is just sheer lunacy. And now I find this is just elevating yet another discussion into the spotlight. And as we've seen recently with Apple's kind of hand being forced at some point to move to USB-C on their iPhones, I think we're in the early stages here of realizing that the same thing needs to happen to watches as well. Because why do we need multiple different standards when manufacturers could just agree on one and thus simplify the whole experience for all of us who buy the products? And this also raises an interesting question, because one thing that is at the top of everyone's priorities and all of these companies' priorities right now is to reduce waste and become more sustainable. Now, it's something that each company proudly announces when they release, their latest phones and the latest gadgets. So look how green we are. See how much of our packaging is recycled, and all of the components are also equally green. So why do all of them force us to buy their version of accessories in an attempt which, as a consumer, feels like it's just a way to make more money out of us? Take the latest iPad from Apple, the 10th generation iPad, which does feature USB-C, compatible with the first generation pencil, which, you guessed it, is Lightning, not USB-C. It's the old Lightning connection. So what do you have to do? You have to buy I think it's £9 adapter so you can charge your Apple Pencil. You just can't make this stuff up. Now, we've seen this with electric cars, which to begin with all had different connections on, and now most cars are standardizing to one type, so you don't have to hunt for charging points to fit your specific car or carry around a frunk full of adapter cables. But I wonder how far this could and should stretch to. Can you think of any other products that are unnecessarily different between manufacturers? And which products still haven't switched over to USB-C, which I guess are mostly Apple products? Now, it is interesting. If you go back to when Apple introduced the Lightning port in 2012 as part of the iPhone 5 redesign, Phil Schiller called this a modern connector for the next decade. So it is quite timely in 2022, a decade later, for them to move to something better. I just think that it's a shame that they've had to have their hands forced by government regulations, when I'm sure we're all thinking that the right thing to do would have been to switch to USB-C much sooner than they have. But one thing I am actually glad to see in terms of standardization is that many of the apps that we use kind of day to day are getting better at standardizing at least their services and their features across multiple platforms. And so So I want to give a quick nod and a bit of a thank you to today's sponsor, Keeper, and there's going to be a bit of a discount listed down below for you in the description. And Keeper have standardized how their password manager functions across multiple platforms, including Mac and Windows, iPhone and Android. But the one thing that has stood out for me when using Keeper has been how reliable it is and knowing when I'm trying to log into something. Particularly on Android, where it can be a bit unreliable at times, triggering the password manager, which then means you have to go like back and forth between your password manager app, copying and pasting information, and Keeper seems to really nailed that. So if you want an easy to use and secure password manager that works across all your devices, no matter what they're running, then check out the link down below. But I think in terms of hardware, the tables might be about to turn into our favor, the consumer's favor. Government regulations are forcing Apple to change from Lightning to USB-C. Maybe the government will turn their attention to other electronics to just save us from the hellhole that is just charging, adapters, and just a whole lot of confusion. And maybe that just makes sense for the watch to be one of the next on their radar. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.